Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
So the matchup going on right now in Piece of Garbage Madness here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101 is an interesting one. Two people. Sometimes Piece of Garbage Madness, which is all at Q101.com and all of our social media. You need to vote there to decide who or what is a bigger piece of garbage. Two people coming in here, a number 6 seed, Alyssa Milano is a 6 seed. I'll give the other matchup before we discuss why they're both on here. And then, Kenzie, you're going to love this. The 11 seed is Tim Anderson. So this is a tough choice. You got Alyssa Milano versus Tim Anderson going on right now on all of our socials and vote. So let's explain why they are there. Alyssa Milano is on Piece of Garbage Madness because she started a GoFundMe for her kids' baseball team to go to Cooperstown. $10,000.
Like the Beverly Hills baseball team.
Yeah.
Let's keep it. It's a very nice area.
Yeah, I think we looked up her net worth. It's like $10 to $15 million. Not that I'm counting anybody else's money, but I would.
And by the way, it's not that she should have paid for everybody. It's just that they all live in that really nice area, so the parents are doing just as well for the other kids.
Pretty good guarantee they're all millionaires.
Yes.
In the neighborhood, and they wanted to get a GoFundMe, which is usually to help people's like medical bills or something going on.
People's whose homes have burned down and they have nothing left.
Yeah.
Things like that.
The other bad look was then later she had a picture of her son at the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God. I didn't know that.
Which those tickets average $10,000 a ticket.
And Kenzie, to be clear, they were good seats.
Yeah.
I bet they
great
were.
view.
Yeah.
Well, so many people donated to the GoFundMe. She just used the rest of it. So kind of everyone.
So that's why Alyssa Milano's on the list. Kenzie, do you want to say why Tim Anderson's on Piece of Garbage Madness?
Okay, so Tim Anderson, and by the way, I have a great video about this on my TikTok that blew up years ago. But Tim Anderson obviously was married to a beautiful lady and had 2 beautiful daughters. And then all of a sudden, these rumors started circulating because a girl posted a picture of him on her story that said baby daddy. And everyone's like, what? And turns out she was pregnant and he had a son with this girl. Now, instead of defending his wife or the girl, like picking any sort of side, he just allowed his wife and this girl to argue pretty like aggressively on social media a lot about he's not your man, he's been married to me for this long, he has kids with me. And then she posted a million videos of their relationship like over the past year and like him around her other son. It was insanity, okay? And then I'm pretty sure he just got somebody else pregnant again, or her pregnant again. Did you see that?
Yeah, I've lost track of the pregnancies. I don't know.
Yeah. And so obviously he's no longer a White Sox because we don't like this attitude in Chicago.
Also, we don't like bad baseball players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And statistically, he was one of the worst players in Major League Baseball last year.
Which is, I know, that's a big accomplishment.
Well, a lot of players.
There's a lot of players.
30 teams, 26 guys on a roster.
And
also, can't really throw hands, we found out. Just throwing it
That's
out there.
right. He got rocked. Remember that? The Jose Ramirez fight in Cleveland?
Oh,
we
yes.
broke that down with Shinedown because Shinedown hadn't seen the video, and they loved it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, did you forget about that? Because I didn't, because, you know, that just proved to me why he was so bad to women, because he can't hold his weight with men, so he's got to go torture women instead.
He's like, well, let me try a different weight class.
Yeah, there we go.
Jose Ramirez was a big guy.
Yeah, it's not even fair. He's like, I'm going to pick on somebody not my own size. And so anyways, he's a piece of garbage.
Well, you vote right now at Q101 social media to decide who advances. Who you think is a bigger piece of garbage? Tough matchup still, though. Alyssa Milano versus Tim Anderson. It's a 6-10 matchup. 6-11, I'm sorry. But there can be an upset very easily. Go there and vote right now.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, hope you had yourself a stellar weekend watching basketball on the couch in your underwear like I did. That was really good. I'm really happy with how I performed.
Was it underwear or was it basketball shorts with no underwear?
A couple times. Saturday was more just underwear because I had no clean laundry.
Oh, interesting.
And then I went to basketball shorts, the red ones, Adidas ones I have on Sunday.
With or without underwear?
With underwear.
Okay, because I like the basketball shorts, no underwear. That's my at-home look.
I used to be into that look.
That's a young man's game.
That
well,
feel.
what can I say?
That feel. Yeah.
I think you age out of it at some point.
I aged out. So March Madness, Illinois keeps rolling. So Thursday around 8, TBS and True TV. Case, what is the motto of True TV?
Not reality, actuality.
How about that? You got Illinois and Iowa State, so both local interests, if you will. Right there, 3 and 2 seed. Illinois has been rolling. Iowa State's doing fine, too. Then Friday at 5 on CBS, you get NC State and Marquette, two teams I've loved watching in the tournament. There's that dude who's like 6'9", 300 on NC State. He's really fun.
Well, he's a tank.
Yeah, he is a tank. And all he did was try to throw the ball into him so he can get him underneath the hoop. You know what I mean? He was guarded like three. Oakland had 3 guys on him the whole time.
I say this as somebody, I love the modern NBA. I think the players are the best they've ever been. The teams are the best they've ever been. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. I know, God forbid we disrespect the integrity of 90s basketball for half a second.
Thank you.
It is funny watching college basketball going like, oh, they're running plays. Oh, yeah. They're gonna dump it down to the big man.
That's right. they set picks.
Yeah.
They move it forward. They don't just shoot when they come over half court and no one's playing defense.
Well, why would we want guys on the floor that can score?
Yeah.
Well, why do we want people that can shoot the basketball?
I want bows. I want elbows.
Okay, ludicrous.
That's what I want. So Friday, NC State Marquette's going to be a great game. That's an 11 seed too, but it's going to be fun. And then Friday, more local interest with Purdue. I'm sick and tired of losing to Purdue. Purdue and Gonzaga, that's at 5:40 on TBS and True TV. So both those games on right around the same time, but that's going to be fun.
I am rooting for our Boilermaker fans listening out there. I'm from Indiana. I get it. I want you guys to be good. This has all of the makings of another Purdue collapse. They've been dominant. They scored the most points they've ever scored in school history in the tournament last night. Zach Edey's incredible. I get it. This team could win a national championship. It is so much more likely they will blow the game to a 5-seed Gonzaga.
And you say that in fear. You don't want that to happen.
I don't want it. I would love it.
Yeah.
I would love it if Purdue won a national championship.
And also, it wasn't fair because that game was in Indianapolis. That was like a home game for Purdue. That was crazy.
It wasn't fair?
Yeah, it wasn't fair.
Okay, all right.
To who'd they beat? I forgot.
Who did they beat? It was such a blowout.
Too many games. I turned it off.
It wasn't Florida Atlanta. Hold on. Who did they beat? Purdue last night. Hold on. Let me open my score app real quick. Utah State.
Utah State.
How could we forget Utah State?
Perennial basketball
One
powerhouse.
of my favorite schools.
That's right. So those games are coming out. Remember, Piece of Garbage Madness going on right now. It's Tim Anderson versus Alyssa Milano. We just talked about with Kenzie. Vote right now. And the Blackhawks, how about a comeback from behind? 5 unanswered goals. Overtime. Here's what it sounded like on the win.
Kurashev, stick handling, looking for Bedard. He finds Seth Jones. Jones shoots. He scores! The Hawks win in overtime and come all the way back. You believe that?
You believe that? Took a little break from basketball and saw that over the weekend on Saturday over the Sharks. I mean, obviously the season is null and void, but still fun to see some fun hockey. With just the season coming up, Cubs, the Brian and Kenzie broadcast from Almost Home Tavern and Grill 1 week from today. That's 3801 North Clark Street, just north of the Metro, obviously north of Wrigley Field. Presented by Twisted Tea. That stuff is so delicious.
That's what I hear.
Oh, boy. It's going to be a rough broadcast. I'm starting drinking that early. So we got live broadcast with tickets for the game, tickets for tons of concerts, our opening day Q101 swag. Stop on out, have some fun before the game, or just come to the broadcast even if you're not going to the game, because it's a great place. Almost Home is a great place to watch. They were, let's see, where was I going on Friday night to get some pizza, and I drove by it, and it was packed for the basketball games. Yeah.
Cool.
Good spot. Also cool is the Cubs are probably going to be doing the first game next year in Japan.
That's awesome.
2025, that kind of got leaked out over the weekend. So look at the Tokyo Dome possible baseball game.
Which is like the Madison Square Garden of Japan.
Yeah.
Beautiful building. They're playing the Dodgers, I believe.
Yes.
And in Japan, baseball is their football. That's their national sport.
Yeah.
It'll be a huge atmosphere there. I'm already excited for that. I've been rallying for the past week to move a Major League Baseball team to Korea. South Korea, ideally.
What do you got, a petition.org thing going on there?
Yeah, I do. And it's a grassroots movement.
Yeah.
But last week, the Dodgers and Padres played each other there. As I'm in the studio, I stare across from this TV that has ESPN on the screen. So I was just watching baseball during the show last week. It was awesome.
Oh, thanks for working on the show. Thanks
my pleasure.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, my pleasure, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, yes, sir.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Can we just go a week without losing a Chicago icon, just a week would be nice. Well, this one hits home for a lot of the radio people that have come through the hallways of Q101 and people that have worked or driven through the Fulton Market area. Blommer Chocolate Company, after 85 years, is closing its plant at 600 West Kenzie Ave. Now, this is right by the merchandise which housed Q101 for 2/3 of its 30-year existence. And I remember going there the first time when I started working there at Q101 doing afternoons as a guy named Sludge back in the day. The wafting of the smell of chocolate, beautiful, delicious chocolate, just permeated the air in that entire area. Sometimes there would be this, in the summer, like a sewage smell mixed with the chocolate. And it had no problem mixing with the chocolate there. It just kind of would just be a nice mix of that smelly Chicago afternoon. But this makes me sad that this place is closing. It's been there, again, for that long. Now, they're going to allegedly move their world headquarters into the Merchandise Mart, which is in this building right now, and then concentrate on their other 3 facilities, which just has upset me. $100 million investment in their other 3 facilities. Know where those are?
No, I don't.
East Greenville, Pennsylvania.
Sounds awful.
Oh, that sounds like a terrible place.
I heard all the bad people live there.
Yeah. You've got Union City, California.
Ugh.
Yuck.
More like California.
And how about this? Campbellford, Ontario.
Campbellford? That's the worst place in Ontario.
Canada?
Ugh.
Really?
I thought this was an American-made, American-born, America-first company.
It was. Until they got sold to a Japanese company 6 years ago.
Well, that's unfortunate. Back in my day.
So they got sold 6 years ago where they said, we are going to keep things going just like they've been. And then not only like a year later, they closed the factory store at this location where when my wife Megan moved here, an incredible baker, she'd go to that store. I took her in there for the baking chocolate. And it was, she knows what's good and what isn't. And she said, this is elite. This is good. But pandemic starts, they closed the factory store. I don't even know if it had to do with the pandemic. I think they just closed the damn store. And then now they're closing the factory and moving into the Merchandise Mart as the corporate headquarters.
You're frothing at the mouth right now.
I'm so
you just
mad.
got really upset.
I'm so mad that store closed. And $100 million in other places? Come on.
What about this place?
Yeah, what about this place?
We like chocolate.
Yeah, it's right in Fulton Market. It's an icon of that neighborhood, and it's going away. And that stinks.
That does. That's too bad. Pour one out.
I pour one out, and I'm just mad. I'm mad at them.
So you worked there or next to there during your running and gunning days.
That's right.
When you were a single man out in the town.
That's right.
Perusing various clubs, looking for women.
Right.
Was it ever a move where you would maybe pick them up a little roses, a little chocolate from the factory, and go surprise somebody with it?
No, I never did that. No.
Why would you care about it?
Well, why would I do that? That's terrible. Yeah.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And Lauren's here to take you through the rest of the day.
Ahoy!
And what do you got coming up on your show?
We are celebrating the women who make Q101 at noon. This is the last week of Women's History Month. And we're going to go big.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I like
noon.
that.
Be here at noon.
Make sure you're here at noon. We'll get to your takeaways right now. Let's see. Case, what do you got?
Lauro from Lake Village checked in. He said, my takeaway is that Brian and Case are scumbags.
Whoa, jeez.
For hating on the greatest holiday candy of all time, Cadbury eggs.
They're not good.
I'm not a fan.
What?
They're not good.
Okay, hot take.
Not really. That's a pretty accurate take.
Wow. I mean,
they're runny. It's a runny.
it's an egg, but it's made out of the most delicious sugar that they could find this time of year. Wait, how do you feel about Peeps?
Love Peeps.
Oh, I hate Peeps.
Love Peeps.
No, Peeps are garbage too.
Yeah.
You know what you should do?
What should I do?
Cadbury egg whites.
Wow.
In the microwave.
It's still marshmallowy. Just give me a big old chocolate Easter bunny. I'm good.
You're a simple guy.
Yeah, just give me that.
Just give me a pallet of chocolate.
What was great was when I was a kid, you put it in the fridge so it was cold.
I do that with Hershey's bar still.
And then it's just hard to bite it.
Yeah.
And you bite the ears off first, but at the body is hard to bite apart of the egg, of the
I'd
bunny.
like to see you do that.
That's how you really can celebrate the season, by chipping a tooth.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Jesus wanted.
That's right.
Was commercialized goods.
Let's see. More takeaways here from first-time texter and 219, Mike and Valpo. Thanks for checking in, man. Hope you check in more. Can't seem to still stop wondering about what happened with the darn French fries.
Oh, me too.
And if you heard headlines today in the 8 o'clock hour, or before 8 actually, you'll understand the story. Case will probably put that in the podcast, I assume. Of course, everything's in the podcast.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. Today we learned a lot of things. We learned that pepper spray cannot be used as a seasoning on McDonald's French fries.
Well, yeah.
Do you carry pepper spray, Lauren?
I think so.
Interesting. I sure hope that doesn't come up in a moment's notice.
I think I have some in the bottom of my backpack.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, if someone's attacking you, I hope you're not pulling out some kind of perfume
Hey,
instead of pepper spray.
I know karate, man.
Oh,
I got self-defense. I got
Okay.
some skills. I got some moves.
wax on, wax off.
Sounds like
Okay.
somebody that doesn't know karate.
So, not today, sucker.
Just acts crazy and they run away.
Exactly. That's my move.
Anyways, on the podcast today, we talked to somebody this morning who saved a life over the weekend.
Amazing.
Fascinating
Wow.
conversation there. We, of course, talked about pepper spraying McDonald's French fries, and we also learned that if you poke Kenzie on Facebook, her marriage will implode.
That's right.
So act accordingly, gentlemen.
The podcast, the new Brian and Kenzie podcast, anywhere you find them, of course, like Spotify's where I go. Maybe you go to Apple. Of course, Q101.com. It's all house there. So go check it out. Download, subscribe.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.